I would love to share with you my series of vocal warm-ups that I go through before every performance that I do. I begin with a breathing exercise. The breathing exercise consists of 7 sounds, just like a snake. Do short bursts for the first 6, and the final will be held until all of the air is gone from my lungs. I'll keep my hands on my waist, just at the lower ribs. I'll notice when I take my first breath that I want to feel the air expanding in that lower belly as I breathe in a nice full breath of air. And then for the s sounds, I want those bursts to push my hands outward because I want to feel the ribs and the lungs expanding, but I also want to feel the abs and the diaphragm contracting and pulling in and up. As we finish that last little burst of s, you'll feel a nice contraction in the stomach. Well, let's go ahead and try it. Oh, that first breath afterwards is so refreshing, and you feel that your lung capacity has increased. So I'll go through that series about 5 or 6 times until I really feel that I'm getting these big full inhales after each one. And at that point, I move on to articulation exercises. The first articulation exercises that I do are plosives and fricatives. A fricative is a sound that's coming out with vocal power behind it. The plosive is the same shape of mouth, but there's only air escaping. You're not putting any vocal energy behind it. For example, we have p and b. K and g. Sh and zh. S and z. Well, that got tricky there. T and d. F and v. I imagine the plosives and fricatives as a pre-run stretch. So you're lightly stretching your muscles before you do a practice sprint. And the practice sprint are tongue twisters. The first tongue twister that I do is one that several universities use. They have different versions at almost every university, so you may know this in part, and I'll put the words in the description below. What to do to die today at a minute or 2 till 2? A thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. We'll beat at a 2 at a 20 to 2 into rattatta 2, and the dragon will come at the beat of a drum. At a minute or 2 till 2 today at a minute or 2 till 2. I extended the M on drum, and that's not traditionally part of it, but I feel that that just adds another level of warming up when I do this tongue twister, because as I make that sound on the end of drum, I notice the vibration activating inside of my nasal cavity, and I feel that I'm really starting to warm up different parts of my face and my singing voice. The next tongue twister is to sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. A dull, dark dock, a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. I have a exercise where the lips are buzzing as the air is escaping. And this is really helpful because if you're not taking a deep supported breath and you try to make that buzz sound, you're just going to end up, and sometimes that happens to me if I'm really having a hard time, or if I'm sick, sometimes the air just won't escape properly. So this is a really good test to see if your lungs are up to par at the moment. And on and on and on up the scale. So just bum, 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 bum. Sounds like chimes. I was on tour for several years doing theater for young audiences, and when you have to wake up and be on stage ready to perform at 7:40 sometimes, you need to have a good warm-up routine, because otherwise you'll end up straining your vocal cords and then you're out of commission. So I think cultivating a regular practice of vocal warm-up is very healthy. I hope you enjoy, and I hope this was helpful to you. Thanks.